Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, I don't know if you noticed, I got a new hat here today. We had some guests with us from Spain to go to Elliot's wedding, and they brought a hat for me because they had been to New York, so they got me a New York hat. Um, you're probably wondering, like, why am I wearing hats? I don't wear hats a lot, and always a different hat. Well, let me tell you a little secret here. The reason I wear a lot of hats is I'll record several of these episodes, one right after the other, and then when I go to edit these episodes, if you just look at it, I don't want to listen to all of them, but if you look at it, just by looking at it, you can tell that's a different episode because I'm wearing a different hat or a different shirt or whatever. So hats are easy to change out. So anyway, you can give me a different hat if you want to. If you don't like this hat, give me another one. So anyway, I want to thank the girls that got the hat for me here. Today we're talking about, we're starting number 16, and it's entitled Disaster Starts with Envy. I guarantee you, most major, I'm not talking like natural disasters like hurricanes, but if there's something bad happening, it usually starts with envy. Envy is the same as coveting, and coveting is desiring something that someone has in such a bad way that you want that thing. Now, there's naturally things that we want. We want always, like I'm always improving the house to make it a better house or something. But if I'm like always walking into someone's house like, oh, this house should be my house, and doing whatever I can to get that house and not being satisfied with the house I have, that's where we have problems, okay? There's a big difference between just being satisfied with what you have and what God has given you, compared to I've always got to have the latest, greatest thing and have something better than someone else, including other people's stuff, okay? And that's where disaster happens. The Ten Commandments actually talks about it, and it's the last of the Ten Commandments. It says, do not covet, and it lists out the things: don't covet your neighbor's wife, don't covet your neighbor's donkey, all that stuff. And if you obey that commandment, a lot of the other things in those commandments will be avoided, okay? If I'm not envying or not coveting someone's stuff, I'm not going to steal that stuff, okay? Because I'm happy with the stuff I have, so I'm not going to steal their car because I'm coveting their car. This story, I emphasize this because chapter 16, when you read through the whole chapter of 16, you're going to be shocked as to like what a terrible disaster took place with the people of God saying some really stupid stuff, doing some stupid things. And then God brought judgment on what was going on here. And a lot of people died, and died in terrible ways. And I wanted to start out by showing you this all started because of envy. Because the people, certain people, weren't happy with the things that God had given them, the position they had, okay? They were priests, but they were like, oh, no, we need to be like Moses and Aaron. We can't be just the regular priest. We need to be like Moses and Aaron. And so that's where the problems start. So we're going to read today Numbers chapter 16, verses 1 through 3 here. Okay, so follow along with me as I read. And I'm reading today from the New Living Translation. Here where it's, I like the way it says it better here. It says, one day Korah, and Korah is going to be a key player in this whole story, and we'll probably take close to a week. I don't know if a week, but we'll talk about this for several days because it's such an intricate story with a lot of lessons we can learn from it. The first being, don't be envying other people's stuff or their position. Verse 1, one day Korah, son of Azar, a descendant of Korath, son of Levi, conspired with Dathan and Abram, the son of Elab, and On, son of Peleth, from the tribe of Reuben. They incited a rebellion against Moses, along with 250 other leaders of the community. Notice it says they incited the rebellion. They're the ones that started this whole thing. All prominent men of the assembly. They united against Moses and Aaron and said, "You've gone too far. The whole community of Israel has been set apart by the Lord, and he is with all of us. What right do you have to act as though you are greater than the rest of the Lord's people?" Okay? Big problem here, because who asked Moses and Aaron to be the leaders of the people? God. Okay? So you're basically coming against what God has ordained. Huge no-no right there. It's like you're trying to fight against God, okay, and thinking you know better than God. Naturally, they kind of threw that out the window and didn't think about that. You're going to see that later on as we go through the chapter here. They also say some really stupid and foolish things also. But I wanted to point out today that this started because they weren't happy with the position they had. They were Levites, okay, and so they were called. They also had a calling, and they were called to serve in the tabernacle and later the temple, and with the sacrifices and so forth. But they were like, "Oh no, we want to be a leader just like Moses and Aaron," and that's not what God had ordained for them. Okay, and that's the whole thing of coveting. Okay, now I also want to point out too, as you let's say you're working in a job, you naturally kind of want to move up the ladder a little bit, but not to the point. There's a balance there. Okay, God wants you to do your best, and as you do your best, you're going to kind of move up the ladder there. But there's a difference between coveting and doing whatever you can then to dethrone the people ahead of you. Okay, so lying and cheating and stealing and so forth to get that done, and just having your life all focused on that. That's wrong. Okay, so we should be trying to excel, okay, but we shouldn't be trying to covet what other people have. And that's the problem. And that's where everything starts. You're going to see huge disaster because these guys weren't satisfied with the position God gave them. Major disaster happens through the rest of the chapter. And we're going to cover that the rest of the week here. Everything that happens. But I want you to remember it starts with coveting. So look at your life. If you have a problem with I need to have the latest greatest car that someone else has, or the latest greatest a bigger house than what the other person has, you go to someone's house and you have a problem with like, why does that guy have it? I deserve this house and I should have this house. And then you're formulating in your mind how you can get that person's house. Okay, kind of crazy. Okay, it goes with everything. Like someone else's wife, the way their kids are, all kinds of stuff. So keep that in mind. If you eliminate the coveting and the envy, your life is going to be a whole lot better. And what really is what God has called us to avoid that, to be satisfied with the things that God has given you. Okay? Hey, thank you for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I invite you to continue joining us this week as we just started this journey in chapter 16 of Numbers. Lord's blessing. I'll see you tomorrow.